Isaiah Thomas, Lloyd Pierce, two former coaches in the NBA. And I got to start this with props to Ty Lue.
Yes.
Now 4-0 in Game 7s in his career. Only coach ever with more wins undefeated in Game 7s. Red Auerbach. So that's elite company that Ty Lue has joined, Zeke.
And one of the most historic comebacks from a coaching standpoint that we've ever seen in a championship series. Being down 3-1 to that historic Golden State team that was 73-9 and leading that Cavaliers team back to confidence and victory. And we just seen him put his confidence back into the Clippers. And, you know, as Reggie Jackson said, he was smooth as peanut butter, you know, in terms of talking to us and just very calm. So he has a way with the team, you know, when they're in tough situations and keeping them confident. And that confidence showed tonight in the Game 7. In the Game 7, right, they 50% from the field, 46% from the three-point line, and a shocking 24 for 24 from the free throw line. So you're talking about that type of offensive efficiency where they're not missing. Right.
You know, they're extremely confident. So you got to go to the bench and give Ty Lue a lot of props for that. Well, it starts with his best player as well. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, you look across the board, 1 assist shy of a triple-double, 28, 10, 9, 4 steals, but you were saying that efficiency? Yeah, 10 for 15 from the field, shot 60% from the field in this series. Game 6 and 7, saved his best for last when facing elimination.
Well, he's been in this situation plenty of times, and we understand Kawhi is an excellent closer, not a good closer. He's an excellent closer, and we've seen it enough. But I thought today the difference in how Ty used Kawhi, he was essentially their point guard, and you saw him initiate a lot of the possessions in this game. And so we know he's an efficient scorer. We know he can attack the rim as he's doing here, going by Boban. But to put the ball in his hands, to start the offense, this is probably one of the most complete games that I've seen out of Kawhi Leonard. Scoring efficiency, crashing the boards here for an offensive rebound, second chance opportunities. But the 9 assists, you don't see that often in the Kawhi Leonard stat sheet. And I think that's where we saw tremendous production from guys like Morris, guys like Luke Kennard and Reggie Jackson. Their games was elevated because of what Kawhi Leonard did and the attention that he brings on the offensive end.
And on the other side of the ball, I mean, we got to look at Luka Doncic and what he did, despite the loss being what it was. And it was a close game through 3 quarters, but Luka, 46, 14 assists, 7 rebounds. Those 46, 1 point shy of the NBA's record in Game 7s held by Dominique Wilkins and Sam Jones. That's just incredible.
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to take a different approach here because, you know, while these numbers sound great and Luka is fantastic, I'm wondering if you can really win and get a championship playing the way Luka plays. Because it's all Luka, right? And, you know, he's so dominant with the basketball. And we saw this in Houston with James Harden, right? James Harden was so dominant with the basketball, numbers great, MVP and everything else. But can you win a championship this way? And can your team advance? And, you know, while the numbers look good for Luka, can you actually win playing this way when everything is just centered around Luka?
Well, that's a key point when we look on the Clippers and what happened, the difference between Game 6 and Game 7. Game 6, it was Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard scoring 90 of their points. It was a different story in Game 7. When you look at Marcus Morris knocking down 7 3-pointers, you look at Terrence Mann coming off the bench to score 13, Luke Kennard with 11, Nick Batum also with 11. It was a more complete effort by the Clippers.
Well, I think his point's valid. It's 22-6 advantage for the LA Clippers off the bench. And so when you start there, who else can come in and impact the game? Obviously, scoring is one area, but that's a huge area. Yeah. And if the Dallas Mavericks are centered around Luka, and the ball dominance of Luka, it is going to be hard in a game like this. Yes, he scored well, but who else was able to impact the game? And so I think that difference, 22-6 advantage, Clippers bench, but the other advantage was 30-22 in terms of assists. And so Kawhi's tremendous game, running this team, getting other guys involved, and they had guys step up, but those guys were empowered to step up, and that's why they had tremendous production from the bench and with the assists.
Yeah, I think, using Luka the way you use him, again, he's great. One of the best players we've ever had in our league. But you got to get him off the ball sometimes, and you got to give others a chance other than just catch and shoot. You got to be able to. It's a team game, and the numbers say that he plays team basketball, but the numbers don't tell you how much he's really got the ball all the time. And like I say, we've seen this with Harden, in Houston, and I just don't know if you can win championships this way.
Quickly, is it a coaching issue? Is it a front office issue? Do they have the right talent on the team? Like, why is that happening?
Well, it's always a system issue, right? And we've seen Carlisle. This is the first time I've ever seen Carlisle use a player like this much, where the ball is just always in his hand. Carlisle is usually, everybody touches, feel it, moving basketball around. But Luka has been so good and so dominant, you can't argue with the numbers. The analytics going to say we're wrong, all right? But from a winning championship standpoint, I'm going to say analytics is wrong. You have to find another way to play and win championships if Luka's going to be your dominant player on the team.
Yeah, I think at this stage of the season, especially as you advance further in the playoffs, the greatest challenge is how do you find easy baskets? Everyone's going to know what you run. You're going to try and attack matchups as often as you can, and you're going to put the ball in your best player's hands. How do you find easy baskets? And sometimes getting the ball out of a guy like Luka's hands, getting the ball out of a guy like Kawhi's hands, and letting some other guys feel empowered but create some easy baskets because they're not getting double teamed. They're not getting the defense shifting over to them. They're able to play a little freer. And so, the system, yeah, you got to put the ball in Luka's hands. He's a dominant player. He's a top performer in this league. And so you are going to be better the more he has the basketball. But you also have to find that balance of how do you empower other guys and how do you find easy baskets to avoid the blitzes and the double teams and the crowd that Luka's going to face for 48 minutes.
Jackson averaged 15 points per game for the Clippers, who win in 7.
We'll get started with Law. You can go, Law.
Reggie, I saw in the third quarter you took a hard fall, had to shake it off, and I saw Razan was kind of clapping, telling you, stay in it. What was going through your mind during that period, and how did you come in and close this game the way you did?
Honestly, I thought I got fouled on, I think, the Bobby block, so I'm a little frustrated coming back to the bench. I've loved having Rondo here since he's gotten here. He's definitely always in my corner. He's on me. He's making sure I stay as locked in as possible. I like to try to pride myself on being able to move to the next play, but times that I'm not able to, he really just kind of holds me accountable. Like I said, he harps on me. He's like a big brother. Now he's been great from that stance for me, and just learning from him. Us learning from him, us seeing his dedication and what he brings to the team. That's amazing, and just fortunate enough that we all stayed locked in and find a way to get a win.
Thanks. Go over Kahari.
Hey, what's going on, Reggie? You all had 7 players that scored in double figures. Can you just elaborate on the way that everyone was able to step up tonight?
I think it all started with, with Big Dog, with Kawhi. Kawhi, he came over with a mentality that he was going to take this game today. He was going to come in and lead. He wasn't going to be shy about his play at all. And he really got it going early. And then once he got it going early, guys have to load up. The defenses have to change the coverages. And everybody just stayed prepared. We were, I think, the best three-point shooting team in the league. We haven't necessarily shot it particularly well in this series. We think we have a lot of looks that have been in and out, but we were fortunate enough to get them to go in on our home court today. But I think Kawhi did a great job of getting it going for himself early, and then welcoming the double, triple teams, moving the ball, and allowing the rest of us to eat on the backside. So, hats off to him, hats off to everybody for being ready, especially my man from Duke, Luke, cool man, playing special. It's been great being my second playoffs with him, being in the playoff in Detroit now, seeing him just mature and being ready for the moment. Him and Terrence were special for us. I mean, you can name countless name guys. We was fortunate to see Marcus make shots today, Batum, especially what we asked him to do defensively. But T-Man and Luke, for their minutes to fluctuate the way they have throughout the season, not necessarily always playing in this series and come in and play big minutes, not being afraid of the moment in Game 7. Hats off to them. It was special. And, there's just as much part of this win as anybody. So thankful for them. Thankful for what we were able to accomplish. We played a great team in Dallas, and just fortunate enough to get the win today.
Thanks, Reggie. That's all the time we got with you.
As we discussed before, the bench and the other starters stepped up. Nick Batum with 11 points in this Game 7.
We start, I just want to say something about Rick, who just passed away. I've spent 5 years in Charlotte, and he's the best. Just one thing about him that I'm going to miss him. I mean, I talked to him 3 weeks ago when we went back to Charlotte, so I had great combos, and he made a great story about me and my dad last year, so I have nothing but respect. I'm gonna miss him a lot. Something I love the guy. So Rick, rest in peace, my man. Love you.
Thank you for that, Nico. We'll start with Farbod.
Hey, Nick, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Just the one big question I want to ask is, you guys are only the 5th team in NBA history to come back from being down 2-0, on the home court in the playoffs. After everything's done right now, how does it feel? How do you guys feel right now?
Feel great now when we were less than 2 weeks ago down 0-2, down 20 on Game 3 on their own floor. Couldn't imagine being in that position a couple of days after that. So that's great. That showed who we are. That's exactly what Tidu said after Game 2. Now next couple of games, gonna show who we are. I think we show that. We have some toughness. Guy who came in and stepped up big. Tonight, Luke Kennard and T-Man did a great job. Luke hasn't really played the whole series and came in and had a big impact in the third when we had a big run. And T-Man in the first half was amazing. Then the rest, guys stepped up. Talk about Kawhi, PG, and Mook and Reggie, and make big shots, big threes, especially Reggie, and Mook the last couple of minutes. So, we needed it. So, that was a tough series. Great job, Dallas. Luka, don't need to talk about it. It's going to be amazing anyway. So we're just happy to be there right now. I got to focus on Utah.
Thanks. We'll go over to Andrew.
Hey, Nick, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
When you look back on this series, all year you guys have talked about how going through the injuries and going through some tough situations had made this team tougher. Was there a point in the series you look back on and think that's when you started to see it for real come out in the postseason?
Game 3 when we down 30-11. I think we 1 or 2 plays away to almost get swept. And we find something in us like resiliency and some toughness. Okay, we can't go down like that. We're still a good team. We're a good team, so we got to show it now. So, and we get back. And then we won Game 3, and then after that, I say, okay, they can't beat us twice. They can't beat us twice after that. So, and we did it. We did a good job.
Nick, also in the offseason, right when you got released by Charlotte, you said that Rudy was one of the first people you talked with on the phone.
The first one.
What's that going to be like now? And he tried to have you come to Utah. What's it like to now face him in the postseason with your guys' seasons on the line?
It's always fun to match up against a guy from your own country, same country, so especially in the playoffs. I did it a couple of times. I faced Tony and Boris already, but I never faced Rudy, so it's going to be a good matchup. He had a great season. Obviously, maybe he's going to be the defensive player of the year. I hope he will deserve it. But now I got to beat him. We have to beat him now. Utah had a great season, great players, great coaching staff, but we won the same thing. We had the same goal. So We're going to do everything just to get some rest for the next 36 hours and get back to war and, on the road. And it won't be easy, especially in this arena, but we have to do the job.
Thanks, Nick. Well, that's all the time we got with you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have Terrence Mann up next, everyone.
Clippers were led by the two-time Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard, 4-0 in Game 7s in his career.
Me too. So we'll go ahead and get started with Ramona.
Hey, Ty. Hey, I'm just wondering, just mentally, it seems like you guys never really got, when they got up, especially late in the game, did you need to say anything to them, or were they just mentally locked in all day?
They were mentally locked in all day, and it was a total team effort. Having 30 assists, in the Game 7, 126 points. Marcus making 7 threes, Terrence Mann in the first half. Luke Kennard coming in making 3 threes. Nico, the way he started the game. And then PG and Kawhi having 19 assists between the two of those guys. It was a total team effort, man. And Reggie coming up big at the end and making some big threes for us. Like I said, it was a total team win. We won at this moment. It was a great test for us, making us battle tested going into the second round. So, like I said, it was a great win for us.
Thanks, bro. We'll go over to Mark Spears.
Congrats, T.
Thanks, Mark.
Wanted to ask you about Marcus, the game he had, what it meant to you guys to get sparked by him for three-point range.
It meant a lot. We was getting shots all series that we didn't make, and we kept saying time and time again that, we're getting great looks versus their zone, versus their man. PG and Kawhi, when they kept attacking. And we got open shots that we just didn't make, Mark. And we just told guys, just trust your work. Trust all the work you put in all season, throughout your career to get here to this point. And like I said, Marcus is the second leading three-point shooter in the league this year. So we knew he was going to make shots. We just didn't know when. But what a great time to make 23s in Game 7.
Thanks, Mark. We'll go over to Andrew Gray.
Ty, congrats. On one hand, you have a short turnaround and this is a pretty taxing series, but do you feel like having gone through this experience, the ups and downs, coming back from 2 deficits, that this could be a good, almost like a springboard for you guys going into a tough series?
Yeah, I think so. Battle tested, going to 7 games in the first round, coming out here winning the game on our home floor, which we didn't play well the first 3 games. But it just shows a lot about our team, about the resilience, about what we've done all season long. Luke Kennard and Terrence Mann, like I said, played in big games this year because of our injuries and guys being out. And those guys that come in and step in and play the way they did was huge for us.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll go over to Home.
Hey, Ty, you said the guys wanted this moment. How did today feel different than the last time you guys were in a Game 7 last year? I mean, how much were they just motivated to kind of get rid of that bad taste out of their mouth from last year?
You have to ask those guys that, but I know it was a tough series for us. Luka put a lot of pressure on us, throughout the course of this series, which we needed. We was able to do some different things defensively that we needed to see and needed to do as well, so we got to get better with that. But last year was last year. We talked about it, when the season started. That's over, and we got to look going forward. We can't keep looking behind and what happened in the bubble. That shit's over. So we got to do what we got to do, keep moving on, and getting ready for the second round.
Ty, was there a moment today that you just kind of knew that these guys had it in them today?
I guess when we had a walkthrough, guys were locked in and focused, but we've been all series. We had to make a couple of adjustments after the first 2 games, and we was able to go 4-1 after we made those adjustments. So, those guys have been focused all series long. So, you get down 0-2 on your home floor, and then to go into a hostile environment in Dallas where their fans was out of control, and to come back and win 4-1, it just says a lot about our team. So they've been focused throughout the whole series. We had to make some adjustments and go from there.
Thanks.
Thanks. Go over to Law.
Sorry, speaking of focus, that third quarter did not exactly start really great for your team. You had to call a timeout 75 seconds in, giving that 3-0 to Hardaway after a bucket. What did you tell your team in that moment, and how were they able to turn it around from there?
No, we just got to take advantage of this opportunity. I said, don't come out and take bad shots. We can't turn the basketball over. And we got to get back in transition. But keep attacking. Don't get enticed by taking the three-point shots because they're in the zone. We got to get back to attacking the rim, attacking the paint, and then spraying out for open threes if we're open. So just a little, lull coming out, start that third quarter. But like I said, they got back on track when we called that timeout and kept attacking and kept getting to where we wanted to get to offensively.
Thanks. Go over to Tomer.
Hey, Ty, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Before game 3, or after game 2, you said you thought Dallas' shooting would come back down to earth. It did. Before today, you said that you think you're finally going to have a good shooting game. You did. I just want to get your thoughts on Utah. What's going to happen there? What are your thoughts on that series as well?
I mean, can we enjoy this one first? But I mean, we know they're a tough team. They made the most threes in the league this year, per game. And Donovan Mitchell, who's the snake of that team. But they just got a great coach in Quinn who does a good job. A lot of movement. Gobert was an anchor in the middle. So I'm going to go look at it today, try to get as much done as I can today and tomorrow and just kind of go from there. But right now I haven't had a chance to really lock in on them.
Well, let me ask you about Luke Kennard then. He kind of came in, gave you guys a big boost after not playing the first 5 games. What really, did you see anything in game 6 that led you to believe he'd be really successful in those minutes?
Yeah, we knew he was going to make shots, but the biggest thing was concerning was just the defensive part of it was Luka on the floor and how they play. But in game 6, I saw he had great shows on Luka. He was able to guard Brunson, got a big steal, got on the floor and got a steal for us to get out in transition. So I knew defensively he wasn't going to be a problem after I saw that in game 6. And the way we were shooting the basketball, I thought we just needed to insert, another shooter in the lineup, especially with Kawhi and PG drawing so much attention. So game 7, it was the same thing. And he came out and made 3 threes for us off the bench.
Miriam?
Hey, Ty, congrats, man.
Thank you.
Hey, so obviously you guys aren't looking back, but looking forward, and obviously you have a great challenge in Utah, and you have an ultimate goal beyond that. But what would it mean to you guys to kind of get past that second round, to get to a conference finals, considering that this franchise is doing this?
No, it means a lot to win and keep advancing, and you play this game, you prep all season long to get to this point, to get to the playoffs and produce. So, like I said, first round was a tough series for us. We battle tested now going to game 7. We know we're going to Utah where they have a great fan base and it's tough to play there, but I think our guys are locked in. I think Dallas really did a great job of preparing us for the next series.
And we'll take one last one from Vincent.
Hey, Ty, when you guys were down 30-11 in game 3 and you guys took that time out, was there any panic in that atmosphere? You talked about how wild the crowd was. You're down 0-2, they jump on you. Do you think the last maybe week or so has revealed some character about this team? Did you learn some things that maybe you didn't know before all of this?
Yeah, a lot of character. And I knew because we showed it all season long when guys were out. But like our coaching staff, we did a great job of just staying poised. Chauncey Billups has done a great job, working with PG and, just because PG's been playing mostly point guard for our team all year. So, just showing him different ways to make different passes, different reads, and, just our coaching staff, Kenny Atkinson with the player development with Luke Kennard and Terrence Mann, those guys getting work in every day. Roy Rogers, Dan Craig, and Brendan O'Connor defensively, just being able to make adjustments, make sure our guys are prepared. And then, Larry Drew, what he does for me offensively has been great. And, of course, Jeremy Castleberry, what he does with Kawhi, and just our approach, I think, every single day of having a workers mentality. I think having a calmness to us, not getting rattled, being poised when things go wrong and things are tough for us. And our coaching staff has done a great job of doing that. So I think when we came to the timeout down 19, we never got rattled. Guys were just saying we got to clean up our mistakes, keep attacking, and keep chipping away, and we were able to do that.
Kristaps Porzingis, 16 points and 11 rebounds in this Game 7.
Obviously, you guys did take the lead here in the third quarter. Why do you think it got away from you so quickly? And, when you look back on this series, what do you think are going to be the biggest regrets?
Hey, Brian, how you doing? The third quarter run, I mean, it's a game of runs. We made our run. We started off hot from three. Dodo hit a shot right away. Tim hit a shot in transition. Luka made a play, and that was 8 points, and it was a tie game. And they called the timeout. We were still able to be there for a little bit, but then later on they made a little run and went up 5. We called the timeout, and that was it. It's a game of runs, and those things are going to happen. And they shot the ball really well from 3 today. We fought as hard as we could, and sometimes shots go in, sometimes they don't. And tonight, was one of those nights where we could have made more shots from the outside. Although we did play pretty good basketball, I feel like. The biggest regret. Good question. I don't think I have the answer to it.
Okay, Kevin Gray.
Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan. KP, as you assess what has happened, obviously in a disappointing loss here, how would you assess how this team handled themselves throughout the season in terms of the adversity you guys went through to get to this point, but still not getting where you wanted to go at the end of this season?
Yeah, looking back at the whole season and even last season altogether, it kind of feels like one super long year with the bubble, and then especially for myself also because of the meniscus, and I had to get that fixed, and then I started the season late without practices and all those things kind of adding up, and it's been an up and down year. COVID, a lot of guys out. We didn't start the year off playing well, or at least our record didn't show it. We had a tough schedule early on, and then as the season went on, we got into a better rhythm and got more wins together, and ended up more or less where we expected ourselves to be, but we could have even probably finished. If we had a little more luck, we could have probably finished even in a better spot, a better seed. But that's how it goes, and it's been an interesting year.
Tim McMahon.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. KP, how do you feel about your fit with this franchise moving forward?
Good question, Tim. How do I feel? I mean, I'm good. I try to put in the work, try to work hard, do my part, listen to the coaches, what I'm asked for to do, and that's it. I try to keep it simple for myself, so I'm not overthinking things, and I try to focus on what I can control, and that's being a better basketball player, going into the offseason hungry, wanting to get better physically on the basketball court, and I'm going to put that work in to get better, and then the rest of the stuff will resolve itself. So I try to focus on what I can control.
Tim Cato.
Hey KP, Tim Cato with The Athletic. In the same way, we talked a lot about how you adapted how you were playing on the court for this series because you felt it was the best way for the team to win. I assume that going forward, the role you played in the past few games isn't the role that you would want to play with the team. Is that true? And what do you see your role on the basketball court with the team going forward?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. I've been so in the moment and so locked in on winning the series and doing, as I said, doing my part and just working hard on the court, offensively and defensively, and doing what I'm asked to do. Of course, there was a little bit of a mental battle because that's not what I'm used to doing and where I'm most comfortable at. But I kind of went back a little bit to my mindset in my rookie year, where it's just offensive rebound, play hard on defense, run the court, and do all the little things that how I can affect the game, and that's what I try to do in this series, and whatever I do, it seems like it's always something. So
okay,
I just try to be as professional as I can.
We'll do one more in English and then 2 in Spanish. Mike Leslie.
AP, Mike Leslie from WFAA. What do you feel like this roster needs in order to take that next step? What's the piece that you feel like is missing for this team?
Sorry, I didn't mean that about the team, the previous one, when I said that last sentence. Sorry?
No, I just saying, what do you feel like this team needs in order to take that next step? What's the missing piece of the puzzle for this team to become more than a first-round exit?
Good question. I don't know. That's again something that is not really my job. I don't know. People up here are really smart, and they'll make the right decisions to for this franchise to move forward, and that's it. I'm here to play as good as I can and do my part and help my teammates and help this organization go forward.
Okay, and we'll go to Spanish with Pedro.
Thank you. Pedro Silva, Univision Dallas. Kristaps, ¿qué crees que faltó para ganar esta serie? Y también, ¿te sentiste cómodo en tu rol en esta serie? ¿O crees que podías aportar más?
Nos faltó a lo mejor un poco de suerte en algunos momentos. Lo hemos dado todo. Luka ha tenido una serie increíble, ha metido tiros de todas las posiciones de un pie y de todo, lo ha hecho todo. Y bueno, lo hemos llevado a 7 partidos.
Luke Kennard good with the Clippers like your favorite barber, Zeke. 28 points, 10th in this game 7.
All these former Pistons playing well somewhere.
Showed off a little playoff. Luke Kennard out there making some threes. How do you stay ready like that, especially for a big game 7 like this?
I mean, it's just what we've been talking about all series, just playing hard and just staying ready. I mean, we got guys that have made big plays all series for us. And, you know, it's been like that all year. Just next man up, you know, whoever gets called, you got to be ready to go. So for me, they just let me know to stay ready. And my mindset was just coming in and playing hard and, you know, doing whatever it takes to help us win, because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter how many points you score, anything. It's just what can you do to help us win. So that was my mindset. That was everybody's mindset tonight, and it was a big win for us.
Thanks. Go over to Ken.
Hey, Luka. Excuse me. Hey, Luke. Talk to me about after you missed the first 3-pointer, like to get back into the game. What that thought process is, and then how good does it feel to kind of actually contribute to this big game 7?
I'm sorry. What was the first part?
Like after you missed that first jumper, it went off. You know, shot looked like it was shot long. And then talk about how it kind of feels to actually contribute to this big game 7 for the squad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're not going to make every shot, but you know, it's just staying ready to shoot. I mean, the way that they were playing, you know, Kawhi, PG, that's why they put me out there, was just to space the floor a little bit and just be ready to shoot the ball. You know, it's what I do, and you know, I had some good opportunities in Game 6. You know, just kind of rimmed out. So it gave me a little, you know, momentum coming into tonight of just staying ready and, you know, keeping it locked and loaded. So, you know, they trusted me. We trusted each other. So, you know, whoever has an open shot, we just want to get a good shot, and you know, that's just what we do. Thank you.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go to Claudia.
Congratulations. The team had to play the best defense of the season in the final quarter. How locked in were you guys on defense?
Very locked in. You know, towards the beginning of the series, we knew we just needed to play.
From Luka, 46, 14 assists. Kawhi and PG, 50 points and 19 assists. Here's Luka in the losing effort.
What do you believe this team needs to do to take the next step forward, whether it be personnel-wise or something different to go into next season?
I think that's a question you should ask the guys that makes the team, right? I'm just a player here, you know. But we gave everything I think we played great. We gave everything. I'm really proud of this team. Obviously, I hate losing. We hate losing, but I'm proud of my team.
Rachel Nichols.
Hey, Luka. Now that you've had a second run through the NBA playoffs, what have you learned about playing in this league at this time of year?
I mean, there's always you learn, you know, different stuff. But just the playoffs is different than the regular season, you know. And Game 7 is a tough is gay, you know, you gotta give everything. Today wasn't the result we wanted, but we'll come back next year.
Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it.
Tim McMahon.
Luka, obviously, I know you care about winning, not numbers, but the numbers you put up in this series were ridiculous. What do you think you've been able to prove in this series and even last year in the playoffs?
I mean, nothing yet, you know. We've been in the playoffs twice since I'm there. We lost both times, so nothing yet, you know. You get paid to win, so we didn't do it.
Brad Townsend.
Yeah, Luke, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. Last year against the Clippers, you guys never led in the series. This time you were up 2-0, had 3 games at home. Do you feel like when you look back at this series, you can look back at it as one that got away?
I mean, you're gonna look every series you lose, then you know you're gonna think like that. You know what we could do better, which games we will win. But that's in the past. You know we gotta look forward in the next season and get the mistakes out.
Okay, Kyle.
Kyle Goon, Southern California News Group. Luka, I was wondering, at the end there, was Paul George trying to exchange jerseys with you? And as a follow-up, you know, what does it mean to you to obviously you played a longer series this time, but to lose to the same team in back-to-back years?
The first one, yeah, we did. I sent one after, you know, in the locker room. And the second one, you know, it's tough when it's the same rival. You obviously don't want to lose again. And like I said, you know, we have to come back next year, look at these playoffs, what we did good, what we did wrong, and just keep going from there.
Okay, we'll do 2 in Spanish now. Pedro.
Thank you. Pedro Silva, Univisión Dallas. Luka, ¿qué crees que faltó para ganar esta serie y cuál es la enseñanza más grande que te dejan estos playoffs?
Bueno, faltó ganar un partido, eso es todo. Pero no sé, jugar duro. Cada playoff son distintos, pero diferentes de la temporada regular.
Okay, and last is Eric Mora.
Luka, Eric Mora de Telemundo Dallas. Viendo el lado positivo de esta temporada, ¿con qué te quedas? ¿Qué es lo positivo que te deja a ti y al equipo esta temporada?
Creo que hemos luchado muy bien, sobre todo hemos llegado a Game 7